Hello, for today's class, we are going to do a head to toe stretch. So this is just a full body stretch class. Let's get started. So let's get started in a seated position. We are going to start with our neck. So I like to start with just an easy chin to chest and look up at the ceiling. And we'll go through that a couple times. And then still focusing on the neck, just changing directions. Let's look side to side, looking over right shoulder and left shoulder, trying to keep your shoulders square and just your head turning. Good, and then taking your head in just a couple circles and switching directions. Okay, and now for one more neck stretch. We'll also use our arms for this one. So you'll start with taking your left arm, take it out to the side and you can kind of tent your fingers up like this so they're propped up. And then you'll tilt your head to the right, bringing your right ear to your right shoulder. And work on pushing this left shoulder down a bit for more of a stretch. And if that's too intense, you can just bring your hand back to your thigh. And back up, and we'll do the other side. So right hand goes out, fingers tent on the floor, this. And left ear reaches for left shoulder. Right shoulder is pressing down. It's not shrugged up towards your ear. It's relaxed. Or your hand can be here. And relax. And now we will bring our arms, we'll kind of warm up our shoulders a little bit. So we'll bring our arms up, hands together, and down. 2 more times. Up as you inhale, and hands down as you exhale. 1 more, arms up, and arms down. Next, we'll go into a twisting pose. For this one, you can stay seated and twist, or you can lay down on your back. I'm going to show you laying down on your back. I think that is just a really comfortable way to get into this twisted position. So you'll lay down with your knees bent and your feet flat on your mat. Hands down by your side, down like this, or out like the T. You will shift your hips towards the right a little bit, and then drop your knees to the left. So both knees fall left, and look over your right shoulder. If you want a little bit of a deeper stretch with your left hand, you can place your left hand over your right thigh and help push your knees down. Trying to keep your shoulders flat on the floor. So that right hip will come up as you're twisting, but keep those shoulders down. And 1 more inhale. Exhale, twist a little deeper. And inhale to come back to center. Center your hips again, arms down. This time we will shift our hips a little bit to the left and let our knees fall to the right. Left arm goes out to the side, looking over your left shoulder, and right arm on your left thigh. Feeling your ribs expand as you breathe in this pose. Twist a little bit deeper. And inhale, and come back to center. And we will roll up and come onto our hands and knees. Okay, so we'll start on all fours. Wrists are under shoulders and knees under hips. Start with a neutral spine, and then we'll go into our cat-cow. So you'll inhale, look up to the ceiling, belly button reaches down towards the floor, and your sacrum, your tailbone are pointing up towards the sky. Exhale like an angry cat. Belly button goes up, chin to chest, tailbone is tucked. Inhale, look up. Arch your back. Exhale, chin to chest, belly button to spine. Go through a couple more rounds of that with your own breath. You can even play with hips going side to side here. Or going around in circles. And when you're done, just coming back to a neutral spine. And then meeting me, laying on your backs again. Next, we'll do a thread the needle. So we are going to be stretching our glute muscle. So you'll lay on your back, feet flat again. Let's bring left ankle and bring it on top of right knee. So you feel a little stretch here. And then I want you to bring your right thigh towards your chest and grab on. You can either grab on behind the right thigh or for a deeper stretch onto the right shin. And you're working on pulling, very gently, pulling the right thigh towards your chest, and you will feel a stretch in that left glute and lateral hip. So breathing here and both feet active. My feet were lazy, but both feet active. Have your feet flexed. Big inhale. Exhale, pull a little bit closer. And as you inhale, bring right foot back to the mat. Left foot releases 2, and we switch sides. Right ankle over left knee. Slowly bringing left thigh towards your chest. Hands, fingers interlace behind the right thigh the left thigh or at the left shin. And really working on feeling the stretch in that right hip. Big inhale as you release the tension. Exhale, one more little tug of the left thigh. And relax your left leg down and your right leg down. We'll roll back up and go into a runner's lunge. Let's start with our right foot forward. So left knee is on the mat. Right foot is flat, left toes are tucked under. Hands can be on the floor. You can place your hands on your right knee for a little bit more of a balance. Challenge, right knee will be over your right ankle, not farther, okay? And be mindful of your back. We don't want a super arched back. We're not dumping into our low back. We're feeling a stretch here. So tuck that tailbone in and really feel the stretch in the front of the left hip. And if this feels good for you and it feels like you can go into a deeper stretch, you can lift up the left toes, grab a hold of the left toes with your left hand and feel a stretch down into your left quad. And staying strong through the right foot. Not letting yourself just collapse into your hips, but you're strong through the right foot and the right quad. And release that left foot. Hands come down to the mat, right foot releases, and let's switch sides. Left foot is flat on the mat, right knee is down. Hands are wherever you would like, inside, on either side of left foot, or on your knees. And again, mindful of your low back. We're not arching in the low back. We're staying stable. Tuck the tailbone in. Really feel a stretch in the front of the right hip. And if you want to go for that deeper stretch, lifting upright toes, grabbing a hold of your right toes with your right hand, and gently pulling your heel towards your buttocks. This is tough balancing. One more inhale. And release. Okay, last stretch for today. We will be seated, legs long. And again, active feet. So toes are flexed, toes up to the ceiling and towards your face. That will really help get a good stretch in your calves and your hamstrings. You can just stay right here, hands by your sides and seated like this. You can also start to lean forward. What I want you to focus on though is when you lean forward, hinging at your hips and not just rounding your back. So if this is all you can do, hinging at your hips, this is where I want you to stay. You can also have a micro bend in your knees. The backs of your knees do not have to hit the floor. Still keep your toes flexed, but you see here, I'll bend my knees a little bit and I'm able to hinge at my hips a little bit farther. My goal is not to get my chest down to my legs. My goal is just to feel a stretch in my hamstrings and in my calves. And this is where I'm feeling it, so this is perfect. We'll inhale, belly big. Exhale, hinge a little bit deeper. And then walk your hands back up to a comfortable seat. Shake your legs out. And we will end with some ankle circles. So in a casual seated position or in laying down, roll your ankles in towards each other. And then the other way. And that concludes our head to toe stretching. I will see you next time.